Well, after we've seen the glorious edition that I bought, let's look into the film. So, I'm going to start that over. So, after the glorious edition that just came out, I'm very grateful to have, let's talk about the movie. Well, what can I say about Ben-HUR considering it's the winner of 11 Academy Awards? Held that record for, 60, 70, 80, 90, 40, almost 40 years, I think. Yeah, something like that. Which is a big deal, obviously. And it's... Never mind. So, but other than it's just historic significance, I don't really hear, film scholars talk about it that much. It's more like, they'll mention the chariot race. And it's kind of the same thing as Psycho, most people just only talk about the shower scene, but there's a lot more to this than just the chariot race, which is awesome, but there's some other great stuff in here too. So, here's the plot. It's okay. So, there's this Jewish prince, Judah Ben-HUR, and his best bud, Masala, I think, comes back after doing God knows what in Rome. He's Roman. And they're like, yeah, how's it going, man? Punch in the arm. But so Masala wants Judah to keep his people from riding against the Romans and just control them. But Judah's got other thinking. He's just like, well, if they want to be patriots, let them. I'm not supposed to tell them what to do. So those two become bitter enemies pretty fast. So in a really stupid kind of way, which I actually really, really like, because it just shows a whole bunch of shit can happen to you when you're just one little thing, they're touching the roof and the tiles come off, almost knock a guy off his horse. Nothing big, but not good news. So Judah's sent to galleys, and his mother and sister are just sent to prison. So through a lot of different events that basically play out through most of the movie. Basically, it's just about Judah getting home, finding his mom and sister, and then trying to help them get healed from their leprosy. So that's basically the gist, but considering it's about 4 hours long, there's a lot of stuff. Yes, quite a lot of stuff. Okay, I don't need to talk about that. Why am I looking? I know this. I'm such a nerd that I probably know this by heart. Okay, so the film stars Charlton Heston in a fantastic performance. Very, very good. Maybe his best. Just saying a lot. He was in a lot of good stuff. What can I say about him? He brings a lot to the role, and if you buy this set, that you'll learn a lot about him in the documentary about him. So, yeah, he's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. Well, I can't talk anymore about it. Oh, also William Wyler. So you got one of the best actors, in my opinion, and a lot of people love him, and one of the best directors, William Wyler, who got 2 Academy Awards, and this was his last for Best Director. And he was pretty well known. He was probably not as good as Hitchcock or maybe even Cecil B. DeMille, but he was pretty close. He was a very well-respected director. Yeah, and then, 9 other ones I can't remember. Whew. Okay, so, Okay, well, I'd say this is probably how the action movie genre, it's an epic, obviously, but, it's the first to, bring a lot of action, the boat scene, the chariots, greatest chase scene ever, race, yeah, never mind, just forget about that, actually don't, because it is important. It's people talk about it, and it's very well known, and I'm talking nonsense here, aren't I? What do I want to talk about here? the costumes are fantastic. They really, really did a good job recreating it. And remember, this is 1958 when they were shooting it, probably. So, you know, audience were easier to, like, fool. You know, we weren't as picky and cynical as we are now. So, you know, they didn't have to do above average work to get a pretty good sum. But they did good on that. And I probably mentioned it, but in the production book, there are a lot of, you know, costume tests, which is really, because I had never even seen one of those before. I've never seen pictures or videos of people testing costumes, but you know, it's part of the movie. And the sets are freaking huge, really huge and impressive beyond belief. I can't even say how awesome they are because there's like, oh man, I read somewhere it's like 150, 200 sets. And these are really well-crafted sets, people. These are really, really nice. Again, you didn't have to go so far, but they did. And it paid off. Huh. It's hard to talk about Ben-HUR because, you know, so much has already been said. And, well, I'm probably not the best aficionado to tell you about it. But, you know, one thing I can say is like my personal story with Ben-HUR. I'm gonna start doing that because yeah, never mind. So yeah, how did I find out Ben-HUR? Well, there's nothing really specific in the history of me and Ben-HUR. Well, it's one of the most famous movies ever made, so you know I'd catch that. When did I first hear about this? I think my dad, showed me some of it, and it was really awesome. But I was like 10, so you know. And what's about this that there's not much action movies have today is they actually have dialogue. And I was my brother, my 9-year-old brother. I don't know if he's in a video of mine. Maybe I edited it out. He was. But anyways, he had a birthday party a couple of days ago. I think days. Yeah. By the way, he got Jurassic Park, all 3 of them on Blu-ray. My gift, which I'll probably review because it's pretty thick. Rambling. Yeah, but so they were talking about what movie they should watch, and by the way, it was a pretty big hassle because 90% of his friends watched only R movies, and the only other guy couldn't even watch PG-13. So yeah, it was a pretty big mess. But we were talking about one of my all-time favorite movies, Ghostbusters, which will be coming soon, by the way. Keep making promises, but I'm going to do them. So yeah, one of my all-time favorites. Got it in the room, the movies. But yeah, it's wonderful, but I don't need to tell you that. But anyways, so somebody suggested that. I'm like, oh man, Ghostbusters, seen it so many times. I'm like, sure, why the hell not, you know? It's Ghostbusters. Then a couple of kids like, oh, I don't like Ghostbusters. And I'm like, why? And then they're like, because it has too much dialogue. Well, okay, they didn't say dialogue. They said it talks too much. I just want to get to the action. And that is what I freaking hate about our generation. We don't care about anything except violence and tits. That's it. So, yes. Oh man. Okay. I feel like I never really went into detail about Ben-HUR. And I'm sorry, I can't really say anything else. It's Charlton Heston. It's William Wyler. It's all those other people that were in there. And I'm sorry I don't know their names because they deserve to be mentioned. Oh, one more thing. Almost forgot. What's one of the most important things about a movie? The music. The music is incredibly important, which is also something young people don't really know about. Really don't care. But it's so there because, you know, what do the best movies have? They have great film scores. And holy crap, this one has... That was a pop-up. This one has one of the greats. You know, I'm not going to sing it to you because that's probably just get you off my video. But I'd suggest you go and heard it. Look it up like right now on YouTube because it's fantastic. It is absolutely fantastic. And you know, it sounds like exactly the stereotypical religious movie score, but it was the first and it is by far the best. I suppose I should talk about the writing. It's okay. I mean, it's 19. One of the problems with watching old movies and when you're like my age is because talking is so different. Even back in like the 70s. Well, no, maybe like in the 60s and 50s, it just goes way different. And it's like what? It's like when you read like Shakespeare at school, you're just like, what does that mean? But yeah, but this one has pretty good dialogue. It's not its strongest feat, but where this movie's powers lie is its action, its set pieces, its characters, and its story. Very unoriginal, but very entertaining. It's been made into a film a couple of times, and I can totally see why. So, Ben-HUR. See the movie? Get the set. That's all I can say about this. So, what am I going to give Ben-HUR? Well, it's certainly not the greatest movie ever made, and you be the judge if it deserved all 11 Oscars. I think so. I don't really know any movies from 1958 anyways, really. Maybe I do. Yeah, I probably do. I'm not that much of a nerd, people. So, yeah, I'd say it does, And I'm glad because okay, I'm going to shut up. So, Ben-HUR, I'm going to give, it's not one of my favorite movies, but it's still pretty good. So, I'm going to give it a solid 8.5 out of 10. Not amazing. Okay, fine. It's amazing. But not the best movie ever made, but it's still pretty good. So, I'll see you guys later.